What is good, everybody? It is Mark here on Weekday Wagers. I am so happy you are able to join us and catch this show live. Please, by all means, on your way in, if you would be so kind, hit that like button. And if you feel so inclined, hit the subscribe button. You don't want to miss these shows, and we're putting out a ton of content too. Stay on top of all of it. Speaking of staying on top of all the things, we had an incredible show, an incredible guest yesterday by the man's name is Eric Cohen, EC to friends and family. And we didn't do too bad yesterday. Kind of a 50-50 day between the three of us. It was fine, but I will say that it was the only goal scorer that we had for the Light the Lamp pickings came from our special guest, EC. So, EC, well done. Tip of the cap to you, my friend. Enough of that. You know what? Rob, listen, it is Wednesday. That can only mean one thing, that in about 5 minutes, we are going to get to Robby's radar. Well, happy Robby's radar day to all those who celebrate. But first of all, how are you doing today?
You can't see it, but I got my ass kicked last night. So thank God you and EC came through. It was a great night of hockey, not a great night for player props. Every time the little notification came up of somebody who scored, I just had that Key and Peele skit where he's a substitute teacher trying to pronounce the names. And I'm like, if I hear one of these, another one of these silly ass names, I'm going to lose it because they're just guys I've never heard of. Like, I'm just like, whatever.
So listen, before we get into last night's hockey, let's start a little earlier with yesterday's recap. How do you think EC did?
He did great. He did great. I'll go ahead and spoil something for you. He will be back December 23rd. So I know there's no mystery this time. He'll be back December 23rd with me and DG. That we're going to treat that like a Friday show. So that should be a good time having him on a Friday type of show.
Yeah, we're going to get into our holiday. We got the holiday week coming up, and fortunately and unfortunately, I will be taking some time off to go get out of this frozen water that's falling from the sky right now. As I look out the window, it's disgusting. It makes me sick. I can't stand it. So we will be getting to our holiday schedule coming up. But yes, mark your calendars right now. December 23rd, EC is coming back. And he will be on the show while I am gone on the 23rd. So that should be a hell of a show. You talk about fear of missing out. I will have FOMO bad. I will be jonesing. And I've already told both DG and Robby, I'm going to Mexico for a week to just kind of recharge and get some planning set up for the coming year and do all of that. I will be firmly planted at the swim-up bar because that's the only way I'm going to be able to get through not being on the show on the 23rd. So there's that. But listen, last night, craziness on the ice. What did you see and what stood out to you as far as just being mind-blowing? Like, how the hell, who would have saw that coming?
I don't know. I was watching the Pittsburgh and Anaheim game, and I thought Anaheim was dead in the water. And then with 0.1 second, rookie Barrett Sinecki came through and puts it in with 0.1 seconds, and then they go on to win it in overtime. Just absolute craziness. The Preds and the Avalanche last night was another great game. Preds are playing a little bit better as of late. I don't know why, because they really don't have anything to play for anymore. But to get that win against Colorado was pretty good. We play them again on Saturday. I will tell you, look out, because Colorado is probably going to rout our asses on Saturday. I will take every McKinnon prop, McCarr prop. You bet it. I will take it.
Yeah, I was a little shocked because Buffalo was playing Edmonton, right?
Yeah, that one too. Yeah.
And I was watching the Sabres play. I have sort of grown to tend to follow them. They're as local a team that I'm going to get as close to me right now. So I was following them, and you talk about an absolute sweat. Alex Tuch. Alex Tuch.
Yeah.
We needed him to get 2 shots on goal for the play of the day. I'm looking at it. There's 1 minute left in regulation, and he is sitting firmly on 1 shot on goal. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Don't you know? In overtime,
Right.
it's the winning shot, scores the goal. We cash. Buffalo wins. Everybody celebrates. The skies opened up. The heavens started singing. It's just amazing to me to see that these teams that have been notoriously bad up to this point are seen to catching like a second life.
Yeah.
How do you approach then capping during this time?
It's rough because it's really highs and lows right now. Because what was it? Monday night, huge freaking night for me. I had a lot of big hits, a lot of goal scorers hit, and then last night I couldn't buy a bet. It felt like I had maybe 2. I know Konechny and Zegras came through for me, and then I followed a couple of guys on X. I saw one of their plays, really liked it, and played it personally. But other than that, it was just like nothing wanted to fall last night. And you're going to have that in hockey. It seems like you either have a really high or a really low, at least for me anyway. So It's just trying to figure it out. And I know last year we were getting close to like the trade deadline. We're like, well, so-and-so going to play well. And it just seemed like they kept playing well towards the trade deadline, and they never missed a beat. Unlike most sports, they seem to kind of tail off. Hockey, they just keep ramping it up. So it's tricky. It's hard to gauge. I do like Wednesdays for whatever reason. The smaller slates, I love it, maybe because I can dig into everything a lot more. But I do like Wednesdays. When I was looking back at kind of my recap, Wednesdays seem to be a better day for me. And I hate losing. So after losing last night, I'm more pissed off and want to win tonight.
A little locked in right now, huh? A little locked in?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and TJ brings up a great point. It was absolutely madness last night. You got 4 games tied with 30 seconds or less in the game, and it was just absolutely bizarre hockey all the way around. So I am so excited to get to not just Robby's radar, but to kind of get to what you're looking at on the hockey slate for tonight. And where did I see Nate, I couldn't agree with you more. Nate says the Sabres have to be the most schizo team in the NHL.
Oh my gosh.
Robby might disagree, but I'll tell you what. This, I don't know if schizo's the right word. I would go with bipolar for the Sabres in the sense that when they play at home, they are a different hockey team on their home ice. They leave the state of New York, and it's off the rails. You don't know what you're going to get. So, yes, I agree. They're a crazy team. But what were you going to say? The schizo teams?
Edmonton, they scored, like 11 goals in their 2 games prior to last night, and then they couldn't hardly buy a goal till the third period. They finally started getting it going. That was one that kind of shocked me. They're the main one. Edmonton, just right off the top of my head, is the main one. And don't look now, but Florida's getting better. Now that they've put Verhaeghe and Bennett and Marchand on the line together, they've been tearing things up. Verhaeghe, I think that his wife just had a kid over the weekend. He scored like 6 goals in like his last 4 games. So he's got that newfound dad strength. So I know everybody hates it, but look out for Florida because they're starting to get healthy again too. Kachuk should be back, I think, after the new year. And then Barzal. It'd be great. Not Barzal. I'm thinking of the Islanders. Help me out, Mark. The other guy that tore his ACL or broke his leg plays for Florida. Barkov. Sasha Barkov. There's a chance Barkov could even be back if they get into the playoffs, which to me is just crazy. Hockey players are a different beast.
Well, so we do have some questions and comments in the chat right now. Joe brings up a great point. A pissed off Robby is a Robby that you tail blindly and listen, you mortgage it, right? Derek has a question for you. Would you use the Bidajad 1 point as a parlay piece? It's minus 185, give or take around there. I guess depending on the shot. He also says later that the daily cheat sheets that we put up on juststatsports.com has him hitting in 90% of his last 10 games, scoring a point. He is on a 7-game streak of hitting a point, and the Rangers are facing the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah.
And the Blackhawks are ranked 14th in the as far as versus the defense versus the position.
Yeah, and I like Zibanejad. I like the top line tonight for New York, but especially Zibanejad and Panarin. And he's right. Zibanejad does have a point at least 9 of his last 10 games. And when you look at what he's done against Chicago, which you have to factor in Spencer Knight's there. So it's a different Chicago team. But even still, like you just said, they're ranked 14th defensively. Zibanejad has a point in at least 6 of his last 8 versus Chicago. And he's got 3 multi-point games in that span as well. So, yeah, definitely don't hate Zibanejad for a point piece tonight.
Excellent. Would you? That's a little juicy. Would you play that just as a standalone, or would you put that with something else?
I definitely put it with something else. If you have Fanatics, it's at -160 there. So I'm not sure where you got it at -185, but if you have Fanatics, it's at -160 right now there. So it might help your parlay out a little bit.
And then the last thing I'm going to ask you before we jump into our best bets for tonight, we've had a lot of craziness. Talk about craziness on the ice. What about what's happening in the NFL? And listen, I'm a Chargers guy, right? This is my guy, but even I'm like, no, this is not right. What I'm talking about Phillips Rivers re-signing with the Colts at the age of 44 years old, and very well could get the start for this weekend.
It's insane. I think it tells you too how bad the quarterbacks are right now in the NFL. If that's the guy, if that's your guy, I know he played there. I get it, but he's 44. He's a grandpa now. Like, I mean, come on. And I'm not even being funny. He's a legit grandpa right now.
Listen, okay, but he's a grandpa simply because he has 17 kids. You know what I mean? I mean, he has a very large family.
Yeah.
But when we look at this on paper, I mean, realistically, he's 3 years older than Aaron Rodgers. We're not talking about a 20-year difference. What?
No, but you got to think how long he's been out too. He's been out 3 years now, 4 years now. He's been out of the league.
4 years, right? Yeah, 4 years.
That's the thing. It's kind of like with professional wrestling. When you get injured, you're not constantly taking bumps. Getting hit by somebody in the NFL, which one I can't imagine, but just imagine getting knocked out by a 300-pound linebacker. That's going to send some shockwaves through his system for sure. So best of luck to him and the Colts. I've never seen, well, I can't say never, but I haven't seen a team recently just start off so hot and look so dominant. And now they're just, I mean, they might miss the playoffs with the way Houston and Jacksonville are playing.
It is absolutely, again, it's mind-boggling to me. And if you look at this, I'm approaching this from an analytics view and a data metrics and a model point of view. And we literally had a meeting this morning on how do we factor this in? Because there is no metric. So what do we use? Do we use his last year in the league metrics and his last year in the league stats and then degrade them by 40%? I mean, there's absolutely nothing that we can do to look at this.
I don't know. I'm kind of pissed that my Tyler Warren first quarter receiving yards prop won't be playable this weekend. I think I've hit in every game but 3 with that this season. Alec Pierce gets a downgrade. His longest catch has been money, but I'm not trusting that because I don't know if Phillip Rivers can throw it that far anymore. So.
Right. And DG brings up a great point. Rivers has been out as long as Eli Manning.
Yeah.
You know, he just doesn't have all the commercial credits that right. Eli Manning and his brother Peyton have racked up. So, but in all seriousness, once we peel back that layer, what does this say to you about the Colts organization at this point as far as them making the playoffs?
I don't like their chances right now. I mean, I know Jonathan Taylor's a beast, but in Rivers' first game back, it's against Seattle, who have been nothing short of dominant on defense already. So that's not your best team you want to go up against. So I don't know their full schedule offhand, but I'm going to count this one as a loss. I mean, can he win? Of course, anything can happen in the NFL, but my money would be on Seattle full force in this one. And then I think I'm not sure if they have to play Houston and Jacksonville again, but even still, those are 2 teams right now that are primed to try to win that division. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what the Colts are doing. There's so many quarterbacks in the league that you can't find a practice squad guy that's at least been getting reps in. Like I don't understand it. It's truly mind-boggling to me. I don't have any justification of why they're doing this.
I mean, the Bengals, right? They could have dumped off Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Which could have been his third team at the age of 40.
Yeah. I mean, he's out there. Shit, Cam Newton, you could have just called him, brought him from wherever he's doing right now. Look at Jameis. Now, if Jameis had been called up or they made a deal to get Jameis on that team, then we'd be talking. Because I don't know if they'd win, but it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know what? I'm looking forward to watching the games this weekend and kind of seeing it. And full disclosure, I will be hammering the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I don't like Indy's chances in this matchup, especially with Phillip Rivers at quarterback. I don't care how good he is or used to be. But you know what? Speaking about other things that we're watching this weekend in the NFL, it is time, folks. Buckle up. It is that time for the segment that everybody is actually here for. Little Robby's radar. And we are sticking in the cold region of the United States in New England, who is taking on the Bills, and you're going to target Kayshon Boutte. Why are we targeting the Boutte?
Yeah, the big bad booty daddy, man. Well, one, because he's played Buffalo 3 times, and he's gone over all of his props. He's averaging 85 receiving yards and has 2 touchdowns and almost 6 targets in his 3 games against the Bills. I know one of those games where the Bills setting starters. I get it. But the other 2, and even this season, he's went over the props where they're at right now. You're looking at 30 receiving yards. That's where the line opened, is 30 receiving yards. You get that at minus 130. I think that's easily attainable. Before they went on the bye, he had 4 receptions, 35 yards, and a touchdown against the Giants. But it's also what Buffalo is allowing. The wide receiver 1, they've been pretty decent against, but it's the wide receiver 2 who's starting to take over against the Bills. You look at T. Higgins last week, 6 for 92 and a touchdown, and 2 touchdowns, and he was concussed half of that game, and he still did that. So, I mean, that's pretty telling. You look at the weeks prior, Sterling Shepard, Jaden Higgins, 2 guys you barely hear from, they both went off on these props, and Higgins even found the end zone as well. So I think the focus is going to be on Stephon Diggs. Diggs did destroy them the last time they met. I don't think he's going to destroy them this week, which I think is going to open up a lot of opportunities for Mr. Boutte.
Yeah, and you know, the challenge for Buffalo all season long, right, has been that middle defense in the secondary. That zone is so soft. It's so wide open for everybody. And the only thing that has saved Buffalo from really being exposed and just being torn apart in that secondary is that they have managed to put some pass rush and some pressure situations against opposing quarterbacks to make them scramble and look shorter. But when quarterbacks have time to throw, that middle, just beyond the linebackers, that middle section is wide open. It's soft. They haven't figured out a way to stop it. I love this spot for Boutte to have a big game.
Yeah, Boutte's got that speed too. Like he can burn anybody in the league. And, you know, I really looked at Travion Henderson for this week, but then I saw that Ramondre had 12 rush attempts last week. So he has started eating into Henderson's rush attempts again.
Right.
It's a complete stay away for that backfield for me once again.
All righty. Moving on. We're going to Isaiah Likely. Oh, God, you talk about the most unlucky man in the NFL right now. Isaiah Likely of the Ravens. They're taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. First of all, was it a touchdown or no touchdown?
It was absolutely a touchdown. If you counted A.J. Brown's touchdown against the Rams not too long ago, it was the same catch. It was the same. Everything was the same. It was a touchdown.
All right.
I'll die on that hill.
Why do we like him this week going against the Bengals?
Yeah, a lot of it is his production has picked up since Lamar's back and been healthy. It also has to do with Mark Andrews is old, slow, and just keeps causing his teams to lose. I don't know if you saw it last week, but he ran in to his own teammate and allowed the touch, screwed him up. And then you think back to last year in the playoffs, missed a wide open catch. I just like Likely more. He's the more athletic tight end. And there's some recency bias. You know, he went 5 for 93, and he had a longest reception of 43 yards against Cincinnati on Thanksgiving. And as we all know, Cincinnati absolutely sucks against the tight ends, no matter if it's tight end 1, tight end 2. They've allowed 9 touchdowns to the tight end 1 in their last 10 games. And they've allowed the tight end 2, which likely, I guess, is considered the tight end 2. They've allowed them to have 3.8 receptions, 60.8 receiving yards, and an average longest catch of 27.4. I think likely is just the more athletic tight end of the bunch. I think Lamar wants to target him more. So I think it's more of a QB-friendly matchup with him and Lamar as well.
I like it. And, one, I also agree with you. It was a touchdown because if that was a catch going out of bounds, it would have been ruled a catch.
Correct.
Just because it's in the end zone doesn't change a damn thing. It was a touchdown.
Correct.
We are halfway through Robby's radar. And folks, I don't know how else to say this, but Robby is the absolute player prop guru. If you have a player prop question, drop it in the chat. You've got the guy's ear right now. We are locked in. You heard him. He is locked in. He's pissed off. Now's the time to tap into that. So if you got a question, drop it in the chat. Let us know. We will get to it. I promise you, we will get to it. I love this one just because, as everybody knows, I'm a big Disney movie guy. I love my Disney movies. And we're going to Nakua Matata.
Yeah, man. This was a sorry,
no
Mark,
worries. No, you're fine. It means no worries. Let's go.
Correct. No, man, this was a no-brainer this week. Puka is second in the league in receiving yards, only trailing JSN. By the way, JSN may not be on this list again, but unless I say otherwise, he will always be on Robby's radar. I'm betting his props every week, so just go ahead and put that on the list unless I say otherwise, because he's been absolute stud. But Puka is averaging almost 10 targets, 100 receiving yards in his last 10 games. He just had a massive day against Arizona. He went for 167 and 2 touchdowns. He hit his longest reception of 30-plus in his last 3 games. Detroit, for whatever reason, still plays a ton of man coverage. They are severely beat up in the secondary. I'm not sure why they keep playing man coverage, but if you want to play it against Puka, he has 335 yards, 3.9 yards route run, and 3 touchdowns against man this season. The wide receiver ones against Detroit, they're averaging 10-plus targets, 4.6 receptions, and 62-plus receiving yards, and most of them are getting a longest catch of 29-plus. Hell, CD Lamb went 6 for 121 in 3 quarters and had a 37-yard catch. And just imagine if he actually played the 4th quarter. So I think the matchup sets up perfectly. Detroit's going to be scrappy. They've got everything to play for, but I think their secondary is so depleted, you're going to see a lot of Puka and a lot of Devontae Adams going off on them this weekend.
I like it. I am going to go back real quick for 1 second because Derek had a question about Isaiah Likely. Are we looking at his yards or longest catch or TD? Which one were you looking at?
Yeah, so his props were not available yet. I'm looking more at his receiving yards and his longest reception. That's what I'm going to be looking at the most on that one. I'll probably sprinkle on his anytime touchdown, especially with how he's been playing the last couple of weeks, but definitely his receiving yards and longest reception.
Perfect. All right. Thank you for that. And let's going to wrap this up. We're going to go with the little Woody Marks of the Texans facing, I should say, the Arizona Cardinals. I know why I like Woody in this spot. Why do you?
Well, it's his backfield now. It's funny. You got 2 guys, one named Woody and one named Chubb. I'm such a degenerate. But Chubb has a rib injury, so he may not even play at all, right? Woody saw 61 snaps against Kansas City. Good for 80%, 7% of the snap count. He carried the rock 26 times last week. Now, he only got 68 rushing yards, but that's still, as bad as KC's been, that run defense is still stout, especially with Chris Jones in the middle. But in the last 4 weeks, Woody is 3rd overall in rush attempts, only trailing Bijan Robinson, James Cook, and Derrick Henry. He's getting the majority of the red zone snaps, which, as you know, Arizona has given up the 2nd most touchdowns to running backs this season. I went ahead. His touchdown line, I think, was at -135 or -140. I went ahead and hammered that because I can only imagine it's going to go up prior to Sunday. But Arizona has also allowed 78.8 rushing yards and 95.1 rushing and receiving yards in their last 10. They're giving up a longest rush of 21.4 in the last 10 as well. Houston favored by 9.5. I think the game script sets up perfectly for Woody to go off this weekend.
Now, we do have this that just broke into the chat. As DG puts it in, that Marks missed Wednesday's practice, not me, Woody Marks. And by the way, I was going with the whole Disney theme of Woody, not Woody and Chubb. But Woody missed Wednesday's practice due to an ankle injury, and according to Aaron Wilson of KPRC Channel 2 in Houston.
Yeah, so Woody leaves almost every game banged up at some point. Like, he always has some kind of injury come up. I know he banged it up against KC, but I'm not too worried about it. And that backfield is so depleted, they're going to need him to come out. And you said Woody and Chubb. I think that could be like a Starsky and Hutch new series. I would watch that, Woody and Chubb Grand Adventures.
How is that not a t-shirt?
Yeah. Oh, man. That'd be my first merch item. Robby Hockey's Woody and Chubb.
This is no. We can't do this. All right. Speaking of things we can't do, let's get to all the things you should be doing right now. If you find yourself in the kitchen, you find yourself making dinner for your loved one, your family, your spouse, you're going to make it a special night. You need to make sure you have this in your toolkit.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Seabass, the only 5-star chef in the game. We all know sports betting is full of bad beats and tough calls, but when it comes to flavor, there's no second guessing. Bassett's Blends is the plus EV lock of every meal. We don't need a stinking model. Crafted with winning spices and bold taste, Bassett's Blends comes in 3 flavors, original, hot, and no salt, that's going to turn chicken, steak, vegetables, any dish into a can't-miss cover every night. With Bassett's Blends, there's no bad beats, no flavor fades, just guaranteed greatness. Check out the link right here where you can pick up your Bassett's Blends for a guaranteed lock every single night.
Love me some sea bass, and I love me some Bassett Blends. I need to get that as a stocking stuffer. So if anybody's watching, hook me up. Anyway, Artemi Panarin, 1+ assist at -110. Look, the bread man is known for his assists, and he's been doing a little bit more of that. He's been scoring goals and getting assists. And the Rangers, you talk about an enigma of a team. They're 3-11 at home and 12-5 on the road. Make it make sense. I don't know. But the Rangers are playing on the road against Chicago, which, if you don't know, Panarin used to play for Chicago 2015 to 2017. Get a little revenge factor in there. But he has a goal in his last 4 road games and at least 1 assist in 3 of his last 4 as well. I love this spot for New York tonight. I love this spot for Panarin. You mentioned Zibanejad. If you wanted to put him and Zibanejad for a point, I imagine that's a pretty decent payout. Chicago's been better this season, but they're still allowing the 2nd most assists to the right wing position. I love this spot for Panarin, and the way he's been scoring goals, and it's a revenge factor. I may even sprinkle a little on his anytime goal at +190.
I like that, but I like that we're looking at the same game. What I don't like is that you like him getting an assist or a goal. I don't have a problem with him doing that. He just can't do it until the 2nd or 3rd period, because I am taking the Rangers and Blackhawks to go the first period under 1.5 at +105. And look, this is a matchup that really does set up extremely well for a slow, low event first period. And it does that because of the 2 goaltenders, okay? You got Igor Shesterkin, who's been elite early in games. He hasn't allowed multiple goals in the first period in 8 straight starts, which is huge. Has he allowed some goals? Yes. In fact, he's allowed goals in 6 of those starts, but he limits it to 1. Why is that important? Because on the other side of the ice, it is the Knight Rider himself, Spencer Knight, in goal, and he has been an absolute beast in the first period. Horrible. Listen, Chicago sucks in the 2nd and 3rd period. If they could finish a hockey game in 20 minutes, Chicago would be an elite team right now simply because of Spencer Knight. He does not let teams score. He has held teams scoreless in 70% of his 20 starts this season, and the first period over has only hit in 4 of 11 of those games when he's at home. He's got a 94.6% first period save rate. I'm telling you, that is elite, okay? I love this spot when you can combine 2 fantastic goalies. You get 2 slow starting teams, and you get it at plus money. Come on now. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Love that look. Love that look. He can still get his assist, but just nothing else in the first. Nobody can do anything else. So as long as we get the assist, I'm good.
Yeah, in all fairness, I think if he did get an assist and the Rangers got 1 goal in the first, I still don't like it, because I circle. Look, whenever here, You want a little insight into the handicap? Whenever Spencer Knight and Darcy Kemper for the Kings, those two guys are the hottest first period goalies right now in the NHL. There's a few others that have like 3 or 4 game streaks of holding teams scoreless. Spencer Knight, Darcy Kemper have been absolutely dominant in the first period all season long. That's just an automatic. You could take them for. In fact, you know what? The other play I'm going to have on this game, and it'll be on the site here in just a second. I'm also taking the first goal of this game to be scored after the 9-minute mark.
Interesting. Where do you even find a bet like that?
That's at plus 115. That was at BetMGM.
Okay.
At plus 115. So most of the data is on goal in the first 10 minutes, right? They call it the gift, goal in first 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's right.
We get to buy it down an extra minute to the 9-minute mark. So you can either play that the first goal of the game will be scored in 0-0-0 to 8:59 or 9 to 60. So
Gotcha. Now, you brought up Kemper. Big Cheesy had 2 hammers on Quentin Byfield to get a point tonight.
Yeah.
Cheesy absolutely love that play. I'm actually on that myself. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm riding with you on that one, Cheesy. I grabbed it at minus 108 at FanDuel. So I think you said minus 110. So minus 108, minus 110, somewhere in that range. Solid look.
So that's excellent. DG does have a question, and I saw it, and I don't want to miss it before it gets too far down the road. This is a question for the chat. If the Weekday Wagers brand could bring in a guest host, a guest person to join the show, who would that be? Drop a name. If there's somebody that you think, hey, this would be a great get, drop that name in the chat. We would love to see it. If you're watching us on Twitter or X, or whatever we want to call it, put that in the comments. Because we're looking.
And nobody's off limits to us. I mean, wherever they're at, whatever they're doing, our door is open. Come on and hang out with us for a minute.
And you know what? I reluctantly bring up the guest host or guest spot because of yesterday's debacle with EC hitting the light the lamp, and you and I did not. Today's light the lamp. We've got Connor Bedard at plus 155, the Big Cat himself at plus 160, Alex the Brinkat, one half of the Book of Sam Reinhart at plus 160 as well, Kevin Fiala at plus 200, and Clayton Keller at plus 210. Who do you like on this list, or are you going off the ice? See what I did?
I can't bet. I liked it. It's good. I can't bet Kevin Fiala. He was a former Pred. It's just some bad blood between me and Kevin Fiala. So I'm going to go with his teammate, Adrian Kempe, at plus 195. Kempe came through for us the other night on that big parlay. I've played his anytime goal. He's got 3 goals in his last 6 games overall, but he has 4 goals in his last 5 versus Seattle. If you've been watching me the last few weeks, I love targeting Seattle. So give me Kempe at plus 195.
And when I was looking at this list, I was like, at first, right, Bedard has been hot. I love that look for him. He has just been one of those guys consistently, although Chicago has started to struggle scoring as of late, which scares me a little bit. DeBrincat is due, but I'm going with Clayton Keller.
Yeah.
And I'm going with Clayton Keller simply because Cooley is on the injured reserve right now. He's out until December 21st. They're going to need Keller to step up. Keller leads the team in assists. Guess what? Cooley is the one who's been the beneficiary of those assists because he leads the team in goals. I love this spot for Keller to take more of the offensive responsibility, put it on his shoulders, and look for him to shoot the puck a lot more tonight. I love this spot for him to get the lamp lit.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about DeBrincat. He cost me that plus 10,000 the other night, so you know he's scoring at least 1 goal tonight.
See, that's why I went there. We do have some plays in here that I want to get to. Michael Klein brings up a great one. Panarin and Bedard point parlay at plus 175. We just talked about it.
Yeah.
How do you like that?
Love that. Love that. I don't have that boost. I have Bet 365, but I didn't see that boost. But I don't hate that at all. It's a solid look.
Nice. Okay. And yeah, Big Cheesy said Quentin Byfield. He's getting a point tonight. Mike also gives us take the Nebraska or Notre Dame team total and take either down 10 points or so for a parlay piece in the trifecta.
Okay. So a little people's parlay pick.
That
or
is a
trifecta pick.
Yeah, a little trifecta pick. You know what? Listen. I didn't get a chance to put the poll up. So, Mike, first of all, thank you for reminding me that we should have done this. If anybody else has a play that they like for a people's parlay, get it to us now. I'll put the thing together right after this show ends. Rob and I will put our picks in. We'll figure out the odds. We'll do this whole thing. We will do the people's parlay old school style where nobody knows what the hell's going on until the short comes out. How's that?
There you go.
So get them in there while we keep discussing these. Mike, again, thank you for that. We will hold on to that. Derek wanted to know what teams is DG looking at this week for kicker props. Derek, I can tell you this. The data sheets for the NFL kicker, the cheat sheets, the things that we use, those will be posted on the website this afternoon. So you can take a look at that. I'm sure DG will get back to you, though, with what he is doing. Derek also has a question about Devontae. I'm assuming that's anytime touchdown.
Yeah, I think his is a little more juice than Puka's. I grabbed Puka's at I think it was minus 125, minus 130. I feel like Devontae's was like minus 175 when I looked last night. Now, it could have changed, but yeah, I think his was around minus 175. I'm going to check for you real quick. Okay. That's a great parlay piece because he's targeted him in the red zone like crazy. So definitely a good parlay piece if you don't want to pay that juice. I keep forgetting this is like a rivalry matchup because you've got Goff and Stafford playing against their old former teams. Minus 170 is Devontae's best line right now, according to Doink, for a touchdown.
Okay. So is that a thumbs up on Devontae?
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you want to play a minus 170, feel free, but I would probably put it in a parlay with somebody.
Okay.
Puka's is minus 135 right now for a touchdown.
That's not a bad look.
No, I played it last night whenever I saw it. I went ahead and grabbed it early. Grabbed Woody Marks early. I mean, I know these numbers for touchdowns are crazy, but when you look at what they've done, especially in their last few games, and then like the Woody touchdown, I think that's just I'm not ever going to say the L word, but for me, it's pretty close.
Gotcha.
Pretty close considering the matchup.
Big Cheesy, in addition to that delicious-looking grilled cheese sandwich that he has there, has a double hammer on the Miami, Ohio, plus the Red Wings plus 1.5 goals parlay for plus 110. I was trying to see what the model has on the.
I can tell you, I definitely love the Red Wings look. They're playing the Flames tonight, so I definitely love that. They have won, I believe, 6 straight against Calgary, the Flames. I hate saying their actual name. Can't say it for nothing. Yeah, they have won 6 straight against the Flames, dating all the way back to 2023. So yeah, love that look for the Red Wings.
Okay, and then Scotty Too Hottie says we've got Luka 30 point at minus 120. Scotty, drop in the chat if that's something that you would be okay with us dropping down to an alt line for people's parlay, because we'll hold on to that one as well. Taj is also on the Red Wings and Flames to go under 6 at plus 100. Ooh. Thoughts on that one?
And I get it. When I was looking at today, so it's 3-1 last game. I feel like their last few have been under that. 2-1 the game prior. Let me check one more. And then 5-0 the game prior to that. So basically, Detroit's scoring all the goals, and the Flames can't score to save their life. So it's not bad. It's gone under in the last 4 games, so I don't hate that look, honestly.
Okay. And I just saw TJ's comment in there. TJ, I know you're going in for shoulder surgery on Friday. Buddy, hey, get well fast. I know your baseball team is going to need you this season. So is it Tommy John? Or
I don't know. Hope it's not a rotator cuff because those suck from what I hear.
I had mine done. So yeah, it's speedy recovery, buddy. Get well fast.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. Derek also says Castile points and assists at 20 plus at -105. All right. So here's what I'm doing. I am marking all these down, and we will take all these comments in the chat and then put together a little Weekday Wagers trifecta parlay at the end of this show. Lastly, and this is important, are we watching Survivor tonight?
Hell yeah, we're watching Survivor tonight. Yeah, I'm watching that, and then I want to watch the Stuart Scott 30 for 30 also premieres tonight. I probably won't get to both of them. Probably take Survivor over that tonight, but I can't wait to watch the Stuart Scott documentary on 30 for 30. He was my favorite growing up. I mean, he made me want to watch SportsCenter every morning and wake up and watch it. So I'm definitely going to watch that, but I will be watching Survivor for sure.
So DG brings up a great question. Who's going home tonight?
It's it's so tough. There's so many factors in play right now that could change the outcome of tonight. I know Sophie has to use that knowledge as power tonight. Can't use it any other night. But if she tries to use it on Steven, he's going to he can block his vote and turn it in before a tribal. So if he doesn't have an advantage, she can't take anything from him. Then she loses it. If I'm Riz, I'm using that damn idol tonight unless Sophie takes that from him. That would be. You've pushed your chips in a little bit too far. I would use it tonight because I think you might get voted out.
Okay. All right. And yes, I mean, first of all, you guys in the chat, you guys are the best damn chat. It's amazing. And I can't tell you how much energy we draw from that when we see this chat just buzzing, popping. You guys have been fantastic. Joe says Stuart Scott is the GOAT. Yeah, no question. Yeah. Booyah will live forever. I mean, you know what? Cool as the other side of the pillow.
Yep.
Never forget.
He is awesome. Oh man, he was awesome. Yeah, and he's right too. Seeing ESPN now compared to the Stuart Scott era is a disgrace. I mean, you had Rich Eisen, Dan Patrick, and Stuart Scott on a daily basis. It doesn't get any better than that. Yeah,
we do have some little look aheads to see who might be going off. And Derek is at this point just begging, please get Sophie off the damn show. Just please. Scotty Tuhati thinks it's you. If Riz doesn't play that token, he could be gone. Or the idol, token, idol, whatever. It's a token idol.
Yeah. He better play it tonight or my boy's gone.
All right. Well, listen, I can't wait. Because tomorrow at 2:00, you, DG, will be right here recapping, not just listen, it's going to be a short recap of our plays because we're going to cash them. More importantly, we're going to be recapping the Survivor event that's taking place tonight. And I will be here for it in the chat. But I can't wait to watch you guys tomorrow too. Any last thoughts? Anything that besides Survivor that people should be keeping their eye on?
Now, it's a short slate in hockey. You do have some late night hockey, which I always love because I'm a night owl anymore. So I'll probably watch one of those late games. But no, it's going to be getting the homework done. I know my son has a big quiz on Friday, so that's going to be like pulling teeth at least for the first couple hours of my night tonight. But yeah, going to be watching some Survivor, and if I can get it in, I'm going to watch the Stuart Scott documentary.
There you go. All right, brother. Hey, listen, what a great show. Thank you again for all of you in the chat. If you could be so kind, whether you're on YouTube or on Twitter, X, whatever, please just hit that like button, hit the share button if you're over on Twitter. Subscribe. You don't want to miss this content. I'm telling you, because when the Weekday Wagers trifecta parlay drops, you're going to get notified. You don't want to miss it. We've been cashing those things left and right. So until tomorrow, right here 2 o'clock Eastern. Robby, DG, Survivor Talk. Are you kidding me? Until then, take care of yourself. Let's cash these tickets. Be kind. We'll see you.